Greetings, sisters and brothers. Welcome to JAMM, Journey of an Afro Marijuana Maji, with Professor R.T. Bates, Sifu Per Kemet, Temple of Tao of ancient Egypt. Hey Tech, sisters and brothers, this is Professor R.T. Bates, Per Kemet, original Kanna-Bliss Association, New York. And that thing I do at the beginning is sending you gratitude and love, positive energy. Is nothing spooky, bioelectromagnetic energy with intention or attention. When it comes outside of you, it's attention. When it's inside of you, it's intention. So my intention is sent at you through vibration, and it's gratitude and love, the two highest forms of energy in the universe. So today we're going to talk about wealth building. It's like, what does this dude know about wealth building? He ain't even got no teethus. Well, as I've mentioned, as I've mentioned several times in passing on different videos, I was an employee of the Federal Reserve Bank. But before that, I worked for the United States Marine Corps, or I was in the United States. I didn't work for them. I was basically a slave because they told me I was government property. I even got a fine for putting a hole in my ear for an earring. I got a $75 fine for destroying government property. Anyway, and after I got out of the Marine Corps, I worked at the Federal Reserve Bank. So in the Marine Corps, I was the guy who bought the parts for the weapons that probably killed a couple of people here and there. And I had a budget of like $250,000 a quarter, something like that. And I had to spend that. I had to overspend so we would have, so we would get more money at the end of every year. At the end of every fiscal year, you had to be empty so you can ask for more money for war. So I learned that from them, and then I came out, and that's what got me the job at the Federal Reserve Bank. And what I learned at the Federal Reserve Bank was the money, or what, I apologize, the cash system, the currency system, currency. It is not money, it is currency. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So what I have here is the wealth building system that also is based on the Tao or Taoism. So we are the church temple of Tao of ancient Egypt. So the ancient Egypt part is the spirituality, but the Tao deals with all the human stuff, wealth building, health, and self-defense. So, let's get into it. So that what I was showing you, that chart that I developed, as usual, in just like the Tai Chi, I talked about the Tai Chi bow already, and I talked about the art of life, and each one of those systems is based on 8 directions. In the Tai Chi bow, we have 8 punches and 8 stances. In the art of life, we have the 8 parts of the alchemy, the meditation, the internal exercises, diet, etc. In the wealth building, I found this out on my own after, I had a basic understanding of the money system with the Federal Reserve Bank, but then after my wife ran off with the children somewhere because of, I wasn't a money person. She just disappeared with my children, our children. I really got into studying money. I'm like, this is all about money. Everybody disliked me and everything because I'm not out there making money. So I really put a lot of study into how this system works beyond the Federal Reserve Bank. In the Federal Reserve Bank, I learned how they do it on a large scale. And then when I tried to bring it back to the hood, my brothers and them told me, we're not into that. Okay, then never mind. They only make billions and billions of dollars this way. But anyway, this is basically based on the same knowledge. The only thing that I did was I found out that there are also 8 parts to wealth building. The way the billionaires build wealth, not the what we in the ghetto think of as wealth. A bunch of cars and a bunch of cash, currency, thinking that you're going to save currency, starting a business and make $1 billion. They don't do that for the money. Anyway, it's called assets. How they build wealth is called assets. They reduce their liabilities as much as possible and collect assets. It's really very simple. But people don't want to listen to people unless you got money. You understand? So, in this system, the first thing is the heaven trigram. So again, I just matched up the information as how they already use the system to build wealth, the step-by-step system that the Western system, how they build wealth. I found out it's 8 steps also. And they match up perfectly with the 8 trigrams of the I Ching, which is the 8 directions and the 8 encodings of the powers, of the forces of nature. So the first one is heaven. Heaven always deals with knowledge and creativity and the highest philosophy and things of that nature. So heaven, represented by the 3 unbroken lines or the 3 solid lines, deals with gaining knowledge of wealth building. Okay, so before you even deal, you have to learn what wealth is and where to get it, how to get it, why do you want wealth, what is real wealth as opposed to cash and currency. Those paper dollars that you spend that are debt. These dollars that you spend put us in debt. Like tomorrow, all the things that you think that you own, your nice cars and clothes, if this system falls tomorrow, everybody you ever bought anything from can come back and take it from you because you still owe the actual money for those items, believe it or not. Check it out. My teacher always said, don't believe me, check it out. You understand? It's debt. It just replaces the money, until the person actually comes back and say, well, I want the real money for my property. So the first thing is knowledge. Learn what real money is. In the Constitution it says 9.99% gold and 99.9% silver. That is money, silver, gold, and then there are other things that we call assets, like art. Good art is worth something. I think everybody can understand that concept. That's what we have the ABCs of the Asset Builders Co-op. So art is like one of the first things that we learn about. Because if you're collecting art, you are collecting assets. And they're assets that you keep right in your own house. You can show to people. But when you buy good art, you put it in your asset portfolio. And it becomes a part of your net worth. So if these pieces of art, say, are worth $5,000 together. So now you put that in your asset portfolio and you are worth $5,000. So yes, you can go to the bank with your assets and say, I need a loan for a couple of $1,000. And yeah, they're gonna be like, well, if you don't pay like that loan, we come get your assets. We come take your assets. You understand? So after you gain the knowledge of wealth and what wealth is and how to keep your records and things, knowledge of wealth building. The next thing is wise, what we call wise spending. The first part is called the creation of financial genius. Not just, oh well, I know how to build money. No, genius. The next one is wise spending. And we have the trigram lake. Lake is about the energy of calmness, whereas creativity is building and expanding energy. If you think about a lake, it's water, but it's just a calm, it's not moving, it's not sinking, it's just a calm lake. So we combine that with spending. Because in America, when you get a dime, you just spend. So the first thing in wealth building, any wealthy person will tell you have to control your spending if you want to build wealth from scratch. So how we do it, and one of the main reasons that I personally don't have wealth, because all my ideas are based on group investing, group bartering, and group buying. This is how you save money and spend wisely. For instance, if we're group buying, say it's 100 of us, and somebody wants a pair of sneakers, so we ask the crowd how many, it might be 12 of us, say for instance, that want sneakers. So now we can go buy them wholesale. We buy as a group. And we can do that with anything. We buy it as a group, we get it wholesale, and now we're not spending as much as each individual going out and spending $100 on the sneakers. What stupidness is that? Stupidness. We all in the same hood, and everybody is going to them buying one pair of sneakers here, $100, $200. Another one, another one, another one. Let's get together and buy all the stupid sneakers together. Then we'll get into buying better stuff. So that's late. Group buying, group investing. We need a business. Let's all invest. Rich people do this. You understand? Even though they're billionaires, they say, let me take 50 million, you give 50 billion, and you give, and they buy together. And they got the money to do it alone. But one of the, well, we're going to get to that later, other people's money. So whatever it is, group buying and bartering. I don't think I mentioned bartering. If we have our group, if you got a skill, I'm teaching Tai Chi, and you making tables or whatever. I teach you Tai Chi, you make me a table, group bartering between each other. Okay, so now the next trigram is the water trigram, and we cash flow. So this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, that what you call money, cash, is not about trying to build billions and billions of dollars of this paper bill. This paper bill, what they teach you at the Federal Reserve Bank, is made to move. This is why they call it currency, like electricity, currency, cash flow, movement. So they use their cash, they make their cash to buy assets, you understand? Or to use for whatever purpose they need to use it for, or we need to use it for. But it's to be used. Now you want to have an amount, say in the bank, you know, for purposes, a good amount in the bank for your own purposes. But it's not about trying to get rich with dollar. That dollar bill is dead. It's dead. It's called fiat. All the currency on earth now is called fiat. That means, it's a term we learned at the Federal Reserve Bank. That means the money has no real, the dollars, the cash has no real backing as far as gold or silver or anything anymore. There's no assets behind the paper anymore, nowhere in the world. When the banks fell in the 30s, you know, in Germany, the Germans who had assets could take these assets, say art, whatever, and go to, say, Paris with a cash was still good, and they could sell their assets and get cash back for them assets. But I have pictures of showing them Germans, I'm saying Germans, burning the cash, these $1 million marks. Oh, that's a whole nother story. These $1 million marks, they were burning in the stove to keep warm. What? You don't believe that can happen? Who told you that can't happen here? The dollar is worthless. Don't believe me, check it out. So water is about cash flow. You know, being able to start multiple businesses or multiple streams of cash flow so that you're not worried about, oh, I have to get up to 9 No, you got this coming in. And especially these days, we got the internet where you can just be sleeping and have cash flow come in. So we get into all that. One of the easiest ways is selling information. How did I come up with that? Because that's all I do basically is sell information. I teach people how to heal their body. I don't have to put my hands on you, so I don't need a license like a hairdresser like my girl Tony next door. I don't have to put my hands on you. I'll tell you, breathe like this, breathe like that. $50, please. So I'm getting on that tip now because I'm poor now because I've been teaching my people, and my people are poor, not in cash, in mind. Anyway, the next trigram is wind. Wind. And now we start to talk about perfect credit. Ain't no telling where things are going with Donald Trump. They all might blow up anyway, but just in case it don't, credit rules right now. Credit rules. I seen a thing with this Caucasian lady where they wouldn't let her on the plane because her credit was messed up. She might be a terrorist. How are they connecting terrorism with bad credit? Oh, believe me, it's going there. If you don't have credit, you know, they making commercials where people with cash, you know, trying to get the cash out, and everybody waiting online, you know, waiting for this patient to deal with the cash, and then, you know, you just deal. So the cards are getting smaller and smaller, and pretty soon it'll be, you know, not pretty soon. They already scanning, you know, they already testing it in companies where you just scan and your records and everything is on this chip. I'm not making this stuff up. So credit is a thing. When the idea with our group is to get all our individual credit scores up so much, so you can just go put your autograph on something, knowing how to do it. Put your CC, you know, put your code behind your name so you're not making any commitment to these people. Do not go past. Oh.